No? Senator Wiger.
Madam Chair, I support it, and I think Senator Bonoff gave some good background on the earlier race to the top and support. But I think Senator Hand raised a very good point on the current expectation of rigor, and if it is tantamount to what would be expected in this exam, there didn't seem to be an answer on that. I think we should allow that person to have credit then for that, so they wouldn't have to go through another 3-hour exam if in fact it is rigorous. And maybe Dr. Mattson or someone can talk to the Board of Teaching as to, is there some subtle difference? If the bottom line is college career ready in math, reading, writing, and you measure that, then as Senator Hand was suggesting, then why duplicate? And I think we're going to look at testing as well this session. So maybe on its way to the floor, I'm not sure how fast we're going to move on this, but I would like to get Dr. Mattson and the Board of Teaching's position on whether there might be a potential waiver on having to take that test if you did have passing scores showing proficiency in these areas. And I think Senator Wolf made some reference that there's that expectation as well, and maybe that's good enough for the entry with other tests to follow. So just make that point. And then the other is, I'm curious, has higher ed committee expressed an interest in this or alternative licensure, as we do have directives to higher ed in here on remediation, et cetera? I'm just curious.
Well, Senator Wiger, I was just reflecting on this. We have had the basic skills requirement for some time, and yet we have still had high levels of numbers of students entering college that, when measured by the college standards, have had to have remedial preparation. And I think what's been more dismaying is, as I've learned at some of the conferences, in particular the Education Commission of the States, a concern that the remedial programs at the college level are not necessarily remediating. In many cases, and part of that may be the program. If it's just a repetition of what was done before and it hasn't helped them get past the hurdle, some don't bother to take it, but once they've taken a class, they can go on and they may not complete college and not necessarily be remediated. We do have a challenge in this area, and that's one reason why I feel like I'm behaving like a pit bull on the reading by 3rd grade, is that we need to resolve this early, because and young people and adults are struggling all through their life when they don't have that basic skill at the beginning. So I welcome anybody to join the passion and see if we can't, keep focused on it and the things that will in fact turn that around. But right now, there is a difference in terms of what some of the college expectations are. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some difference in terms of the level that's being tested for in basic skills if they're going to be successful in a college program. And I guess the issue is that too much to ask of the people who are going to be preparing to teach our young people.
Well, Madam Chair, I'm not suggesting it's not too much to ask, but
you're talking about the repetition, whether
yes.
that is enough.
Yeah, I mean, we have 32 colleges preparing students in Minnesota, and just.
And Senator Wiger, I'm saying that it may be enough if we weren't having people go on to college and take remedial education.
Proficient in 3rd grade, I agree.
No, if they pass the basic skills test yes. at the high school level, if that still isn't adequate in determining that they are effective and going to be successful, we still have a challenge there.
And Madam Chair, just briefly, then I would say that then the standards aren't what we are telling the public in terms of college career ready. And as you know, we have an access committee that had worked on a number of recommendations. Mr. Bartholomew and several others. The new commissioner was on that, and maybe we'll have a chance to look at the rollout of those. So, excuse me, Senator Daly.
No further discussion.